live Doppler radar. Bob and Paul will tell you how much snow to expect.
A woman is dead in Troy. The man who shot her is in the hospital with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. I'm Jackie Slater. Coming up, I'll have a look at the multiple scenes involved in this investigation.
And New York's controversial green light law is now in effect. Why a local county clerk says he won't comply and how the DMV is responding.
From WNYT Albany, News Channel 13 live at 4 begins right now.
Good afternoon, I'm Jerry Gretzinger.
And I'm Karen Terracci. Benita is off today. Snow is on our doorstep this afternoon.
It sure is. It's knocking. And when does it start? How much can we expect? Chief Meteorologist Bob Kovacic's over in the Weather Center, and he's got some answers for us. Hey, Bob.
All right, Jerry and Karen. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, knocking on the door. Not quite yet arriving, but probably early tomorrow morning. We're figuring in the range of 3 to 6 a.m. More on that in a moment. Clear and cold Saratoga Springs right now on our CDPHP first warning cam. Lots of late day sun, 30 degrees, a bit of a wind chill down to 23. As far as the car starter for tomorrow morning, well, the cold start and some snow will be flying around by then. So certainly time to get out early, give it an extra 5 to 10 minutes and crank up the old vehicle and clean off the car with the snow falling. As far as what's coming our way, well, the next 8 hours will shape up like this. Temperatures pretty much steady, dropping back into the 20s with increasing clouds. And for tomorrow, snow will be with us a chunk of the day, arriving, as I said, between 3 and 6 a.m. and continuing into the afternoon. Temperatures will stay below freezing. As far as our snowfall numbers are projected from the snowfall, a modest snowfall, but still it's going to be an issue for traveling as we head through the morning commute. This is the total amount by early tomorrow evening, 4 to 6 inches locally, a little lesser amounts up to the north, 4 to 6 in the Berkshires, 2 to 4 well down to the south. But overall, it looks like a hefty snowfall, especially as you can see in the Catskills, parts of Greene, the Helderbergs, Schoharie County could get some places over 6 inches of snow by the time it all winds down early tomorrow night. And beyond that, bitter cold to follow this week. More on that and a complete forecast for you coming up. Tag team weather in just a few moments. Karen.
Thanks, Bob. A woman is dead after she was shot by her estranged husband in North Troy today. Police say 54-year-old Lisa Susie died after she was shot inside of her home on 5th Avenue.
And her husband, 57-year-old Mark Susie, then shot himself, but is expected to survive. Jackie Slater's been at the scene all day. She's live with an update now on the investigation. Jackie?
Jerry, Karen, this investigation is now in its 6th hour, and it has investigators processing multiple scenes. Now, Lisa Susie was killed inside her home. That's the house back there behind that crime scene tape. You can see the little roof over the front porch. Again, she was found inside the home. Officers say her husband shot himself in the alley behind the home. Now, multiple layers of crime scene tape have been blocking off the 700 block of 5th Avenue between 119th and 120th Streets, as well as the alley behind it since 9:30 this morning. We arrived on scene shortly after and found teams of officers working both locations. In the alley, our cameras were rolling as officers examined the murder weapon. Officers say Mark Susie used the same weapon to kill Lisa and then again in his attempt to shoot himself. Police say they were alerted to the incident by an adult male who was inside the home at the time. He reported hearing an argument and then multiple shots fired both inside and outside the home.
He heard the altercation going on, and it was his son, and then he ran down and found his mother there, and checked for a pulse and so on, and called 911.
And Mark Susie was in surgery this afternoon. Again, he is expected to survive, and officers say he will be charged. Now, coming up at 5 o'clock, I'll have a look at how officers say these types of crimes can happen anywhere and how they often feel helpless to stop them. Reporting live in North Troy tonight, Jackie Slater, News Channel 13.
Thank you, Jackie.
New York's green light law now a go. The controversial law went into effect this morning.
It allows undocumented immigrants to obtain driver's licenses. While the Rensselaer County Clerk, Frank Marola, says his office isn't ready to comply.
And this afternoon, he filed a motion to re-argue a ruling made last week on the county's objection to the state's green light law. Dan Levy reports.
Marola tells me that if an undocumented individual were to come in, his staff would have to direct them to the Albany district office simply because his staff hasn't been properly trained yet to process foreign identification documents to determine if they're fraudulent or not.
Any documents, any come in that were foreign documents, all had to go to the district office, and they had to be approved through Homeland Security. And now they're asking the clerks to stand at the DMV window and make a decision on foreign documents that we've never had to do. So they're putting us really in a tough situation. I don't know how we're going to be able to do that.
Marola says his biggest concern at this point is that someone will come in with fraudulent documents and it might get by one of his clerks. That's why he'd like to see the onus removed from his county employees.
The law's passed. Let state DMV do it. If you want to do it, you let them go down to state DMV, let them process it there. We're overwhelmed as it is.
State Attorney General Letitia James says the green light law will make roads safer and it'll bolster the state's economy. She also believes it'll allow undocumented individuals to come out of the shadows, which is not the way Marola sees things.
Out of the shadows, just the opposite. They're trying to hide people.
According to the state DMV, local officials, including county clerks who run DMV offices, cannot choose which laws they like and which they will disregard. If a clerk is unwilling to follow state law, the statement continues, he or she should resign their office. A green light initiative, seemingly with blinking yellow caution lights all around. In Troy, Dan Levy, News Channel 13.
Cohoes Assemblyman John McDonald tells News Channel 13 he too has concerns about foreigners being able to vote, which is why he voted against the measure.
Albany Assemblywoman Pat Fahey voted in favor of green light, says she believes the voting issues have been addressed. Meanwhile, the state DMV says they have provided document authentication devices and resource guides to both state and county DMV staff to assist them. East Greenbush police continue investigating a suspicious death we first told you about last Friday. A 25-year-old woman's body was discovered in a home on Electric Avenue. Police have identified the victim as Emily Adams. Police are calling her death suspicious, but they say they're waiting on autopsy and toxicology results before commenting further.
There were some tense moments today at Loudon Plaza in Albany. Albany police say they were searching for a former employee at a business in the plaza. They say a woman was going back to her former employer and creating problems. Other businesses say police came into their establishments asking if they had seen the woman, but did not say their safety was at risk. No word yet if police found the woman they were looking for.
We're following developing news out of Fulton County.
Jim Cambrick is live at the Right Now News Center with the developments. Jim?
In the last few hours, we've learned about a weekend crash in Johnstown. Police say that a 59-year-old man was crossing Comrie Avenue when he was hit by a car driven by 32-year-old Micah Birch. The man crossing the street suffered serious injuries and was flown to Albany Medical Center. Right now, he's listed in critical condition. After investigating, state police charged Birch with DWI and drinking while in a motor vehicle. Police are continuing to investigate. Jerry and Karen, back to you.
All right, Jim, thanks.
Coming up on News Channel 13 Live at 4, responding to a crisis.
Now, police officers are using a CrossFit program to strengthen their body and mind.
Plus, a litter of puppies is now being cared for by an animal shelter where the pups were found.
We cannot take the risk that the next election will be corrupted through foreign interference solicited by the president.
And the impeachment inquiry will take the next step this week in Washington when a trial could begin in the Senate.
Coverage you can trust. With Benita Zahn, Jerry Gretzinger, Chief Meteorologist Bob Kovacic, and Meteorologist Paul Cayano. This is News Channel 13, live at 4.